Newkirk versus Johnson.
Marissa Newkirk. Miss Newkirk, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I have read your motion, Mr. Vance, Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry. I take it you got a copy of that too, Miss Newkirk?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that before I hear from Miss Newkirk?
Honestly, it's just to lower my child support. You know, I'm trying to put them on my benefits. I don't have a social security number. I asked her, she won't give it to me. And also, you know, I pay bills. I have my kids on the days I have off. And the days I work, I don't work 5 days a week. I work at Blown Film 12 hours. So I work today from Friday to Sunday, have Monday, Tuesday off, and I work Wednesday, Thursday. And, you know, it just keep repeating. So, you know, I have my kids, I drop my kids off at school, pick them up. And my other two kids recently just moved back here. And I'm just trying to stay afloat because I feel like my child support is just too high right now.
Okay. Couple of questions. Well, one question for Ms. Newkirk. In your response, which I read, it says that, which kind of confused me. It said you were not properly served with the subpoena. What subpoena?
I was under the impression that he had to send it via certified mail. That was all that I believed, that it was improperly served.
Okay, well, that's not, first of all, it's not correct. Motions can be served by first-class mail, not certified mail, and it's not a subpoena, it's a motion. Because you confused me by that language, because a subpoena is it's a whole different thing than just a motion. And there are different service requirements for a subpoena, but you were only served with a motion. So
that was my mistake.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing something here. So anything you want to tell me before I can tell you what I can do?
I know in my response, I asked for the lowering of the child support to be completely denied, which I still don't feel that it should be lowered. However, I suppose that I'm okay with it being lowered slightly. However, if it doesn't get lowered, between he and I, he's always telling me that he's not going to get the kids if he has to pay that full amount of child support, even though we do have parenting time through the friend of court. So it's almost like if it doesn't get lowered, I'm going to have to deal with him being mad at me as if this is my fault.
Well, that's, relationships are complicated things. And I don't want people to agree to things just to, agreeing to things to keep a good relationship between you and that's valid. But I don't want you to feel intimidated or threatened in order to do this. So the question becomes is this. All right, if right now his child support obligation is $839 for two children and $555 for one. So what are you contemplating it should be, or what would you agree that he pay?
I mean, to be quite honest, Your Honor, he hasn't paid any. I haven't gotten any child support from him this entire year. So I agree with the amount that they made, and I don't know what would be fair without shortchanging myself.
Well, I can't answer that for you because that's all. The only thing I can answer is what I can do. Okay. Because U2 is, and if anybody's receiving any state assistance, Medicaid, food stamps, rent assistance, WIC, whatever, you have to be very careful about moving off the guidelines because the state of Michigan will not allow the parties to venture too far off what the guidelines call for. Here's what I know. As I said, the Uniform Child Support Order is the ink is barely dry on it. That's September 26th of 2025. It's $839 for 2 children and $555 for 1 child, based upon the friend of the court's figures of actual income for Mr. Johnson of $2,802.88 a month, and your actual income of $1,292.27 per month. Defendant was also given credit for 120 overnights. Plaintiff was given credit for 3 additional children, and defendant was given credit for 2 additional children. The guidelines from a legal perspective, and that's the only thing I can go by, appear appropriate. But what I can do is, if you and Ms. Newkirk want to think about this a little bit, I can adjourn your motion without date, and you and her can sit down, or however you communicate, and come up with a number that you both can live with. And if you do that, then just go to the Legal Assistance Center and they'll help you prepare an order which does that. If at the end of the day, you two can't seem to get on the same page, then I'll listen to anything else you have to tell me. But right now, I think I would rather wait for the parties to have at least the opportunity to discuss it, not under the guise of emotion where everybody's on the spot, so to speak. They'll give you a chance to think about it, Ms. Newkirk, and hopefully you and Mr. Johnson can reach out to one another and come up with a number. But I'll clue you in. Unless these numbers that I just read to you are way off, unless there's been a real significant change of circumstance, then those are the numbers I'm stuck with, just like you are. But I'll give the parties the chance to try and resolve it themselves. And if not, you know where to find me. Okay?
Can I say something?
I don't think you need to at this point. Probably save it for Miss Newkirk. Unless you think it will help.
Yeah, I tried to negotiate with her. It was like a week ago. I said 400, 450. She said, no, too low, but she never gave me a price. So you said, let you know.
Yeah, you guys can start. She has time to think about it and see what she wants to do. You don't have a lot of leverage here, Mr. Johnson. That's the problem. You don't have leverage.
I can't survive off that, though. I'm trying.
I understand. I get it. I get it. I get all of that. The problem is I can only go by numbers. I got my
other 2 kids back up with me. I got 4 kids in my house.
Yeah, they've already given you credit for that. If any of these numbers are wrong, I'll fix them. But they've already, it looks like when I went through the Uniform Child Support Order, they've already given you credit for additional children, given her credit for additional children, and the guidelines look right to me. If the guidelines are wrong, then by all means, tell me where, and we'll see if we can't fix them. But right now, everything looks fine to me. The only issue is whether you and her can come up with an agreement. You said 450. She says too low. So you wait for her answer back. And if you guys can't resolve it that way, you know where to find me. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not going to be able to resolve it, but okay, Your Honor.
You're all set. Thank you very much. We're adjourned.
Monthly gross income of $21,971.66 for the year of 2024. Mr. Chop.
21,000 per month?
Per month, $971 per month.
$21,971 per month.
per month.
Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Chapo.